Hey guys, my name is Klaja. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. In this video we are checking out the Impulse IR Loader by TC Electronic. You heard this pedal on all the guitars in the song in the beginning of the video. Now for those of you who are following this channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of impulse responses. In fact, this little studio wouldn't be possible without impulse responses. So when TC Electronic came out with this little pedal, I just had to check it out, and they were kind enough to send me a copy so I could make this demo. Alright, let's just take a quick look at the pedal. You have a foot switch that can be set up in two different ways. It can either turn on or off the impulse responses, or it can toggle between an A and B setting where you can load in two different impulse responses that you want to switch between. And of course you have ins and outs, you have a master volume, you have your 9-volt power connection, and you have a USB connection here, so you can hook the pedal up to your computer where you can update the firmware and you can load in extra impulse responses other than the ones that come with the pedal, and you can rearrange the order in which they are stored inside the pedal. Then you have these two little buttons up here that lets you toggle between the impulse responses, and you can, by pressing both of them at the same time, you can go into a global EQ where you have a high and a low that you can adjust to your likings. So without any further ado, let me hook up some guitars, and then I will show you the three main ways that you can use this pedal with both acoustic and electric guitars. Hang on. Alright, so I hooked up an acoustic guitar. It is this Green River guitar, which the nice folks at Green River had let me borrow for this demo. So the signal is coming from the built-in pickup system out of the cable into the Impulse IR loader, and then from there directly into my interface. And this is with the pedal disengaged, so no acoustic guitar impulse right now. This is the sound. Alright, turning on the pedal, and it is loaded with one of the built-in acoustic IRs that comes with the pedal. Check it out. Right? Sounds much better than without the impulse response. Let's just check out one of the I believe it's 5 acoustic impulse responses that comes with this pedal. You can change that by clicking this little button. This one is called D28. Yeah, sounds pretty amazing compared to when the signal is just going straight into the guitar. And I just want to mention that this guitar has some kind of built-in preamp system, but it is all disabled. It is not connected to the output. It's just the piezo, I think, system in this guitar going straight to the output jack. So none of this is active. So before we put the acoustic guitar away, I just want to show you the global EQ inside the pedal. And you can access that by pressing these two buttons simultaneously. Like this. If you press this one, you go into the high, which is of course the high frequencies of the impulse response, and this is the range. Press the other button over here and you go into the low setting. Press them again and you will exit the EQ mode. Now this is a global EQ, so it will affect all of your impulse responses inside the pedal. Alright, so I hooked up an electric guitar. It's my Fender Strat. It's a Road 160 loaded with Green River pickups. And the signal is now going from the guitar into this pedal, which is not turned on at the moment, and then into the Impulse IR loader, and from there to my audio interface. So no amps in this setup. And this is the sound. Now what's interesting here is that the amp is actually kind of like baked into the impulse response itself. Right now it is a Marshall 900 series amp and a 4x12 with some greenback speakers in it. Let's try and switch to a different impulse response, which also has the amp baked in. And as you can tell, there is a significant difference in the sound, and that just proves how much of an impact the speaker, or in this case the impulse response, has on the overall sound. Now with that setup, you could potentially hook up your entire pedal board just before this pedal and then record with that. Now I've just hooked up this, which is the Carl Martin Plexitone low gain, to demonstrate how that would sound. Let's try a different impulse response with an amp baked into it. And this would work of course work if you were playing live. You could send this signal to front of house, or as I'm doing right now, I can record it straight into my interface without using an amp. So for the third way to use the Impulse IR loader, you can use it with a real amp. Now, if you're going to do this, you need to be careful, because you cannot, I repeat, you cannot send the speaker signal from your amp directly into the impulse pedal. It will most likely destroy both the pedal and possibly the amp if you do this. You need some kind of load between the amp and the impulse pedal. And in my case, I am using the Shure reactive load. I've been using this for years and I really like it. So the signal is going from the guitar into the amp, and from the amp into the reactive load, which is handling the load just like a real speaker. It is then sending a line signal from the reactive load and into the Impulse IR loader. Once again, be very careful if you use this setup. Do not connect your amp directly to the pedal. The signal is in this setup then going from the pedal and into the interface. And just for some fun, I have hooked up the Plexitone low gain pedal one more time to be in front of the amp. And this is the first impulse response that pops up when the pedal starts up, and this is the sound. Right, let's check out one of the other ones. This is Alnico Blue speaker, as I can see. Next one is Vintage 30s. Yeah, pretty cool. Now, just one more time, please remember you cannot hook your amp directly into the pedal. Alright, thank you so much for watching my demo on the Impulse IR Loader by TC Electronic. I think this is a great little pedal. As I said, I'm a huge fan of impulse responses. It is a small form factor, it will fit anywhere on your pedal board. You can use it to go into front of house when you're playing live, or you can run it into your audio interface if you want to record guitars. You can use it on electric guitars, you can use it on acoustic guitars, you can use it with an amp, you can use it without an amp. It is just pretty sweet. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Please consider hitting this like button and subscribe button, and I will be back soon with more gear donuts. Until then, stay cool.